So let us reflect on the gospel this evening. You know, the leper character in focus in today's gospel reminds me of a song of the Beatles that became popular in the 1970s. The song entitled, All the Lonely People. Sorry sa mga kabataan dito na hindi na familiar sa Beatles. The song was actually composed by Paul McCartney in 1966. And it is about people who live lives of solitude. The first stanza of that song is talking about a woman whose name was Eleanor Rigby. Akala ko nga ang title, Eleanor Rigby, but the real title is All the Lonely People. Sabi nung first stanza, Eleanor Rigby wearing the face that she keeps in a jar by the door. And then he asks, who is it for? I am not sure what he means by that. Ang alam ko lang is that jars are used for preserving foods like jams and pickles. Well, sa Kapampangan, buro, binuro. What a description of a woman. Binuro siya. Maybe she was left for another woman by the love of her life. At siguro dahil heartbroken siya, naging bitter or sour in life like a pickled, and sorry for the term, old maid. Apologies to the old maids here. Naburo, kumbaga. The song describes Eleanor Rigby as a woman who never dared again to enter into a relationship dahil nga broken-hearted siya. She goes down to church where a wedding has been, and she picks up the rice that is usually showered upon the newly married couples for good wishes, di ba? And I imagine Eleanor scooping the rice in her hand and bringing it home with her, dropping the grains bit by bit on her way home. And Paul McCartney says she lives in a dream and waits by the window as if the lover she wished she could have would just show up one day and ask for her hand in marriage, even if she knew that that would never happen. What a lonely life. Yung second stanza naman is about a priest. And the name of the priest is Father Mackenzie, whom Paul McCartney is also including among the lonely people. You know, I have a feeling that he has misunderstood the solitude of Father Mackenzie. Sabi niya, Father Mackenzie keeps writing the words of a sermon that no one will hear. At least ngayon, masaya, dami-dami ninyo at nakikinig kayo. But is it possible na mag-go homily yung pare at mga butki lang nakikinig sa kanya? Yes, indeed. Ganyan na yung nangyayari ngayon sa maraming mga pari sa Europe, nagmimisa na walang tao. Ipapasalamat sila na may mga Pilipino pang nagsisimba. Well, meaning, Father Mackenzie keeps faithfully preparing his homily every day, not minding at all, even if nobody would care to listen to him. But I am amused by the description of the priest, darning his socks in the night when there's nobody there, nagsusulsi ng medyas. Obviously, wala kasi siyang asawa na magsusulsi sa medyas niya. Ganyan naman ho kami eh. I remember one time may humahabol sa akin, sabi niya, Among, may punit ang damit ninyo. I didn't even notice it. At susulsiin daw muna niya. We can live with that, you know. But for Paul McCartney, both Eleanor Rigby and Father Mackenzie fit the description of lonely people. Pero doon sa refrain niya, he does not seem sure. Kasi ang sabi niya, all the lonely people, where do they all belong? All the lonely people, where do they all come from? You know, I wish binasa ni Paul McCartney ang gospel reading natin ngayong gabi, which is illustrating two different kinds of solitude. The solitude of the man with leprosy and the solitude of Jesus. And so I wonder if it would be right to call them both lonely people, even if both of them are men of solitude. Tandang-tanda ako pa, nung nasa seminaryo pa ako sa San Fernando, kapag bakasyon na at wala ng seminarista, at may bumisita sa amin sa seminaryo, minsan nasasabi nila, Father, ang lungkot-lungkot pala ng buhay nyo. Masyadong tahimik, walang tao, wala kayong kasama. And natatawa ako when I hear that because I never thought of my life as malungkot at all, not even when I am alone. People with leprosy were treated like outcasts in the time of Jesus. They were literally thrown out of towns and villages for fear that they might infect the whole community. At naniniwala din sila na ang sakit na ito ay parusa ng Diyos sa matinding mga kasalanan na maaaring nagawa nila. Can you imagine, may sakit ka na at nadidepress ka pa because you believe that God must be punishing you? That is why lepers were obliged to keep distance from people. At kung may masalubong sila sa daan, obligado sila according to the law of Moses na sumigaw. At ang isisigaw nila, madumi, madumi ako, unclean. And when they say madumi, they do not just mean it in the physical sense, but also in the spiritual sense, as in makasalanan akong tao. In the gospel, the leper did something that he was not allowed to do. Lumapit siya kay Jesus. Siguro dahil, he must have been longing for contact with a fellow human being. Well, at some point, he just did not care anymore about breaking the law. He has been alone far too long, away from family, away from friends, away from loved ones, away from the community. And like any ordinary, normal human being, he was longing for company. He was longing for human touch. He wanted to come out of isolation. But he may have observed Jesus from afar. Kasi according to the gospel writers, Jesus frequented deserted places. He would go to the wilderness and be alone. Every now and then, he would climb mountains. Not to escape or run away from people, but in order to pray. And so, this leper must have heard from other people na mayroong isang preacher from Nazareth who was different from the other rabbis, different from the Pharisees especially. And this one not only refused to judge sinners, he even dared to forgive their sins. He even befriended public sinners. He must have followed Jesus from afar. He must have watched him closely until he gained enough courage to do what he was not allowed to do. He dared to draw near and approach Jesus. Malay nyo, he was just trying his luck. Kasi alam naman niya, he presupposed, that most other people would just run away at the sight of a leper. If they realized that they were anywhere near a person with leprosy, oh, you can expect people to avoid him. But to his great surprise, Jesus does not run away from him. He stands still, and he allows the leper to come near him. And take note, ano yung request niya? Hindi niya sinabing, if you will to do so, you can heal me. Akala ko nung una, yun ang sinabi niya eh. You know what he said? If you will to do so, you can make me clean. I think he was begging to be forgiven. Madumi ako, pwede mo akong linisin. Pwede mong linisin ang madumi kong pagkatao. I think he was begging to be forgiven of the sins that he believed must have been the reasons why he was suffering from this dreadful disease. But Jesus did not just give him a word of forgiveness. He knew that this man was longing for a human touch. Maybe a simple pat or a hug. Who knows? It was all that the man was really asking for. Who knows? He just wanted to hear someone tell him, hindi ka madumi. Hindi galit ang Diyos sa iyo. And Jesus responds very quickly. He says, I do will it, be made clean. And not only does he touch the man, he literally pulls him out of isolation to allow him to worship again in the temple, to bring him back to his family, to the community from which he has been detached far too long. And ironically, what occasioned this encounter between two men of solitude was their shared solitude. Kaya sinasabi ko, merong dalawang klaseng solitude. One is negative, the other positive. The negative solitude of isolation. Yun yung tinatawag ni Paul McCartney na mga lonely people, like Eleanor Rigby. But there is a second kind of solitude, the positive solitude of spiritual communion. When you say, I am alone but not lonely. And I dare say it is closer to the solitude of Father Mackenzie. Siguro na misunderstand lang siya ni Paul McCartney. Madalas naman kaming ma-misunderstand. The Gospels tell us that Jesus often withdrew into solitude in deserted places not to be alone, but precisely to seek company. It was in these moments of prayer that Jesus entered into a very intimate communion with his Heavenly Father. But then, of course, it was also in these deserted places, in the margins of society, where he met the people who were excluded, rejected, abandoned, forsaken, the lonely people. I tell you, marami sila sa lipunan natin. Some of them might even be here attending this Mass. People who might be feeling unwanted, rejected, dirty, unworthy. And Pope Francis keeps telling us to be a more welcoming church, to be a less judgmental church, to make these people feel na mga anak din sila ng Diyos. Na ang simbahan is not an exclusive fellowship of righteous and holy people. Sino bang hindi makasalanan sa atin? It is a field hospital of wounded people. The church is a body broken, for broken people like you and me. That's precisely why we need the Eucharist. Because we're so broken. And we believe that by receiving His broken body, we become whole and we get healed. Isn't it wonderful to realize that it takes one kind of solitude to heal another? Jesus, the man of spiritual solitude, deliberately seeking out those who live the negative solitude of isolation. Ibang klase ito. A healing solitude. A welcoming and inclusive solitude. His touch had a wonderful effect on the lonely people of this world. He restored their wholeness and brought them back to society, to their communities. You know, Paul McCartney's song is asking in the refrain, all the lonely people, where do they all come from? All the lonely people, where do they all belong? And we can answer his questions by saying some of them come from God. And their solitude has the power to heal and restore people. And the others, where do they belong? They belong to nobody because they suffer the solitude of isolation, exclusion, and rejection. Sometimes it does not take very much to liberate lonely people from their solitude of isolation. Sometimes it only takes a little touch. It only takes a reassuring pat or a warm hug or a caring word from one like Jesus who knows where all the lonely people come from and where they all truly belong. You are disciples of Jesus, and you should be able to identify those lonely people and share your solitude of communion to heal people out of their solitude of rejection.